Yeah, hi, good afternoon everyone. Thank you 𝐒𝐿-𝐥𝐵 for giving Datamatics an opportunity to present. And also thank you for esteemed delegates who are here, who are from all spectrums, and we had some very interesting conversations. And each of you are in a different stage in the digital transformation journey. So what we would like to do, or what I would like to today talk about, how intelligent automation is helping and has helped customers in the digital transformation journey. So I guess again there's a lot of among you who have raised hands at the beginning about who all have embarked on the digital transformation journey. Instead of talking on slides, I would just like to also get some feedback in terms of intelligent automation. What are the kind of tools, technologies that you have deployed? Any quick buzzwords here? Nobody? RPA, IDP, AI, ML? Hyper automation, yes. Thanks. So yes, I mean, in the digital transformation journey, it is very important to understand that we as Datamatics are. I'm not talking a lot about Datamatic because I think being an Indian company, we are quite we are known for, like many people have come and asked me, okay, are you a ISP or a service provider? We do a lot of things. So I'm not going to brag about Datamatics. I'm going to talk more about how we have solved a lot of our enterprise customers' pain points in terms of many business solutions like invoice processing, bank reconciliation, trade finance processing, and the likes. So we as our cutting edge, I would say, and many of the discussions we have had is, okay, so you do OCR. So could somebody maybe just say what's the difference between OCR and, say, intelligent document processing? Any kind of, has anybody heard of intelligent document processing? Okay. All right. So what is intelligent document processing? Let me just get to that. So Everest Group, which is one of the leading industry analysts, they call intelligent document processing that documents that come into the organization, it has to be pre-processed, right? It has to be processed. The data has to be extracted intelligently, and then it goes to the various backend system. And I will show you, and today's presentation is getting a little bit into the nitty-gritties of what your business users are daily looking at. And maybe you can connect the dots, but that is what, I think it is important that we understand what our business users are using and what are the pain points that we have. In our earlier discussions, I think, starting with the keynote speaker, he had mentioned that, okay, we set up the digital transformation journey can be set up by the C-level, but what are the field level problems that are happening? I think that's important to understand. So that is why IDP, which is Intelligent Document Processing, Everest Group defines it as a complete platform where you ingest documents and we extract data, we use it to circulate to different backend system and back and forth. And that's where we as Datamatics offer our intelligent automation platform. I'll go a little bit back, I'll go a little bit deeper into the technology. So Truecap Plus is our, let's say, intelligent OCR platform. We follow a template-free approach. So when I say template-free approach, what kind of documents come into your organization? Purchase orders, contracts, invoices, GRN, delivery note, Aadhaar card, anything, right? So today, how are your task force managing it? They are sorting the documents, they are understanding the documents, they are routing it to the relevant departments who has to take care of it, and then somebody manually enters the data into your backend system, right? So I hope I'm making sense. So this is what is happening. And what kind of documents come in? So I'll show you that in the next couple of slides, but what is important to understand is there is a challenge in enterprises where you get all kinds of data, structured documents, semi-structured document, unstructured document, documents that are sent upside down. So what do I mean by that? I'll just show you. So I'll be showing you some of those samples, but what we do is, we have a lot of customers of ours who say that, okay, we get a lot of documents which come in skewed and scanned upside down in different formats, different sizes. How does your system understand that? So what we do is we do something called as image cleanup. We clean up the image, and based on the business rules defined, we extract the data. Okay, and we use a lot of, the discussions we had, we use a lot of AI/ML techniques, and we have our own IP of AI/ML, artificial intelligence and ML model that is built into many of these processes. For example, if I get an invoice and there is no PO number, we identify that, the system automatically identifies that there is no PO number, and it sends an automatic notification back to the vendor saying that, sorry, we cannot process your invoice because you haven't entered the PO number. Similarly, if there are some line items that are not matching, we do it on the fly. That is what Truecap Plus does, and we use a lot of these business rules and validations. We built it into the application, right? So if you look at, I don't know if anybody relates to these kind of documents, but do you get documents that are, when I say do you get documents, it can be any channel, right? Whether it's by email, whether it's by physical scanning. So we have documents that come in many formats from our customers. So these are some examples of documents which our customers get. They say that we get all kinds of documents, handwritten data, we get stamps on the invoice. How does your current OCR or extraction tool read this information, right? It is not possible, because that is what is OCR. OCR can just read a document but not understand it. What Truecap Plus or what Datamatic does, we understand data. So if something is sent like this, we will clean up the image and we will read the data, what is relevant to you, to input it into your backend application. Which are your backend applications? They can be anything. It can be SAP, Oracle, it can be your HRMS system, it can be literally any backend application where we automatically input that data. So just to give you, so that's why I was going on more screenshots so you can understand what is the level of, the depth of how much we are reading data. So here on, if you see, look at the screen, on the left hand side is the data that is extracted from the documents, and the right hand side, it will highlight the areas where the extraction is maybe less than 95%. Okay, so we can define on every field level how much confidence or how much accuracy you need. So that is what we provide as a solution. Again, each of those fields, we can define business rules, right? We can say that an invoice should never be backdated, or we can always put certain rules and the system will stop. So this is called as like a human in the loop, where a human validates. If we don't have to, if we say that, okay, everything that is above 90%, 95% is posted directly to the backend system, that is done by our tool automatically. So idea is we try to reduce as much as possible manual data entry, manual validation, monotonous, repetitive tasks, which I'm sure is the core agenda of this digital transformation summit, where we try to see as much of data, to digitize data, to reduce the manual intervention involved. Furthermore, what we do is also we also kind of do matching, PO, non-PO matching. As an example, we do reconciliation of data. So this is also something that we do. And not sure how many of you in the audience over here get handwritten data, unstructured handwritten data. Any show of hands? No? Yeah. So I'm sure in our industry, especially, we have worked with many insurance companies, with many banks where we get a lot of handwritten data. Truecap Plus can actually extract handwriting to a large extent, and we can even validate. So for example, that is thermometer, it has read the word, but it is bringing it to a user to validate whether it is right or not. And when you validate certain information, what happens is that the system auto-learns. So next time the same vendor would send such kind of information, it will understand the document. So there's a lot of, again, artificial intelligence built into it that happens when we are scanning these documents. Now, obviously, you're seeing more examples of invoices because that is the common, requirement. But obviously, we can ingest any amount of data. So, Datamatic, we have our own RPA tool, which is called TrueBot. So TrueBot, obviously, and I'm sure many of the people in the audience is already aware about RPA as a technology, and many of you have implemented. Again, any show of hands on who have implemented RPA? 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. So I don't need to explain a lot about what is RPA, but of course, one of our distinguished features is that TrueBot is part of the Datamatic's platform, part of our complete offering, where we have already embedded our IDP platform, and that can be used for a lot of automations. So just a quick gist of how it looks like. So we have our own designer, where we can design the bots. We can schedule the bots, and most important, and where we find we have a cutting edge, is that we show an ROI immediately on that process that we are automating. So TrueBot RPA has got a lot of features that would where we can show the processes that we want to automate, and you can immediately see the ROI of how much we are trying to save in that. We also provide, as part of our solution, a lot of dashboards and reporting, both from both the tools, from TrueBot as well as from Truecap. And again, because both of these technologies are powered by AI/ML, we have our own data labs where this engine is being modified, and the engine is being built. The artificial intelligence engine is being built based on customer request. So for example, if we have a situation where one of the leading banks have approached us to have a resume sorter, right? A resume sorter where we give them a search engine to search all the resumes based on specific job descriptions, based on specific, so not like Naukri.com, but very specific to what the bank needs. And we built it on our AI/ML model. Right? So we can deploy technologies like that. We are happy to talk to you more in detail if this is something that you would look at. So again, over here we have True AI. So where we do emotion analysis, sentiment analysis, comprehending of data, something that has been talked about in the last session, where we use AI technology to understand data and to use it for more decision making, right? So it is not just about extracting data, but also comprehending data, for also doing pattern recognition, speech recognition, object recognition. So we do all of this under our AI/ML modeling. Any questions so far?
And almost everyone has implemented RPA very well. But when it comes to the data metrics, how do you see, because you got an RPA and then you got an intelligent piece as a hyper automation platform. What do you see you can coexist? Because the enterprise has already invested on with the big words like automation anywhere or the UI path and so on. Where do you see, the game of coexistence here?
something called hyper-automation, where we don't just focus on RPA. RPA, as you rightly said, Mr. Ajay, is everywhere. Everyone is doing RPA, and I have deployed RPA and I'm sorted. That is not the answer to that, right? We do hyper-automation, end-to-end automation of the processes. So we don't sell an RPA solution, we sell an accounts payable solution, we sell a procure-to-pay solution, we sell an order-to-cash, or we sell a bank reconciliation. So we look at that end-to-end process and we add all our tools to automate that entire cycle. And furthermore, we have something called hypercare support, where every 3 months we do a health check on the processes that have been automated. And why is that necessary? You may automate a process with an RPA bot, and that process goes wrong, the bot will also do the wrong thing, right? You need to, it's not like you deploy a bot and it's done. You have to revisit it very often to kind of check that the monitoring of the bot. So hyper-automation is very key, and end-to-end processing, I think, that's where we bring our value addition.
Excuse me, I have a specific question. Mutations are there, actually, lots of mutations. So I'm very interested in one of the things that you mentioned about AI, ML, and NLP are used.
Yes.
Is there any way these can be automated to look at a particular gene that's got a particular mutation that can go to the PubMed, it can search through all the published literatures for the past 100 years and search and tell me where exactly this gene mutation is being reported? Is that something doable with this?
And once the data is fed into the model learns from that, understands based on statistics.
So you need training data actually. So how do you actually go into the vast, there are 10,000 journals in biology, so there is a huge volume of information, so it has to search, keep on searching. So the NLP alone will not do. So you need other techniques, modern techniques. So these are, because I think almost all the people in the planet are going to be sequenced in about 30 years. So all 8 billion are customers. So that in that way, I think that for healthcare, this is a very important aspect. Absolutely. That we are able to search through vast information and cull out the data.
Yes. So how the model would work is that we would give them certain algorithms on what is the kind of ratings that you need to take, or what is the objective of that message. And what it will do is it will scan through that data and it will kind of analyze and comprehend or get a gist of what the statistics could be in the future. So predictive analysis and all of that is part of this entire solution. It fits into one platform, right? So as you can see, RPA is obviously on the top, where we build, manage and execute these bots. But there is also data that comes in. So for example, to take the example which Sir said, we can take the data that comes in, and instead of a bot managing it, we pass it to TrueAI, which is our AI/ML modeling engine, and it brings out results based on the algorithms we set up. And then, of course, we have a reporting and dashboard view, which basically shows you the entire, and as a C-level or VPs and IT managers sitting here, I'm sure dashboards and reporting are something very crucial for your decision making. Many of the organizations already have it, but we also have it as part of our offering, which can be procured as required. So, what are the prominent use cases? There is n number of use cases, right? It's not restricted to any specific use case. We have done implementations where it comes to trade finance, where we have done healthcare, claim processing, KYC. So there are many, wherever there is data, wherever there is documents, we can engage. I'll just touch upon few success stories that we have done to just to show you some light on what we have done. So 𝐒𝐚-𝐧𝐠𝐫𝐢 is one of the everybody knows it's a global paint manufacturer, where this is a small use case, but we have to process 350,000 invoices. And what we have done is we have implemented our Truecap and Truebot technology to do data and to extract data and put it into multiple ERPs. So they had multiple ERP systems where we had to post some data to some places and the other data there. So we were able to do that with our technology. The other use case for a leading NBFC is that loan request, right? So when a loan request comes to you, what are the things that you do? Normally, first you validate whether that person is eligible for a loan. And how do you do that? You go to different systems, you have to check whether they are a credit-worthy person, you go to different portals to check that, and all this was automated through the bot, right? You could automate that process through the bot. This is another use case for a healthcare provider. So where this was one of our customers in UK where they wanted to basically log into the portal and automate the patient registration process, handle any change request of an existing patient. So this took a lot of time for them. They had to identify who is the patient, what is the diagnosis, what was the patient's the past history, and there was a lot of manpower required to do this activity. We were able to, deploy about 4 bots for this, and it was 90% faster turnaround time when we deployed the bot. So the bot would go to the site, check for the patient, update the change request, send an email back to the patient. So all of these things could be done in like a fraction of a second with the bot. And just to give you some more ideas, so we had a customer, again an insurance company, where they needed to do Aadhaar masking. So this is also just one of the use cases that we had, where we do redacting of the Aadhaar number. That is also possible. In Truecap Plus, we can identify stamps. So for example, when you get documents where there are stamps, there may be a use case where we need to identify if there is a stamp or not, if there is a signature or not. All of these possibilities are there. So some of our, customers, there are many, of course, on our website, but some of the leading companies like Blue Star, Voltas, Aditya Sun Life Insurance, IndusInd Bank. These are some of our customers who have talked a lot about us, and they are some of the. It is not just about implementing. Again, as I said, it is not just about implementing an intelligent automation solution. It is about nurturing them. And our solution is a very scalable solution. It's not like you have to go for an enterprise-wide solution. Deploy one bot, deploy one process where you can automate, say, just the AP process or just the trade finance department, and then you can scale up the solution depending on the requirements. We are obviously well covered by all the industry analysts, Gartner, IDC, 451 Research. We are listed as among the top intelligent automation providers globally. And finance and accounting, as I've been always talking about more finance and accounting examples, we have been obviously rated very high among Gartner and Everest in the space of finance and accounting. So again, there is no training involved in the documents that you give us. The system will automatically learn it, and human intervention and manual correction is a thing of the past. We can actually deploy these bots to actually work and increase your efficiency, where your staff can then focus on more productive work. And that is why we say that we look at a hyper-automation solution where we look at end-to-end process. So normally what we do is when some customer has a question and they come back to us, okay, I'm having a problem in this area, we do these process discovery workshops with them where we look at end-to-end process and we identify where we can plug it in, where we can plug in the automation. So yeah, there is of course our booth is there. We are happy to talk about it. But yeah, I would like to ask if there are any questions. or anything that is, anything anybody wants to ask?